Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show how to use a Linux live boot to recover DCA Infinium scope that has had its hard drive completely full to the point that it actually can't even start up, and it can't even find the other partition for a recovery. The reason we want to do this is last chance to try. If we actually have to install a new drive, we're going to have it calibrated again because the cal tables may be gone. So hopefully this will fix it, but I'm going to show you the process to do this, and it does work. So we'll take it from there. Okay, so for stage one, for booting up the using a live boot disk, you have to create a bootable flash. There are plenty of websites to talk about this. I'm going to recommend this is because I'm using Ubuntu. Essentially, go to the howtogeek. How I got here is I just looked up create Linux live boot USB. Howtogeek has a good guide on this, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Create a bootable Ubuntu flash disk, and again, follow the instructions here. It's really easy to do. You basically get a partner program called Rufus, which is actually the burner that will burn your flash. And then you download the ISO image, you put it in, and then you burn that. And just follow through these instructions. And then I'll go on the installation aspect. Okay, we're going to do a Linux boot. I've got my Ubuntu disk made. And I'm going to set the DCA for boot mode going into the BIOS. So when we power up, we're going to press the delete key repeatedly until on the keyboard until we get there. And now the one thing is the USB stick is shoved in the back. I'm going to press that, power it up. We'll see the message come up. Pressing the delete key repeatedly, and that gives us our BIOS setting. Okay, so we can go across the top and choose the, we can go into advanced, we can check USB, we don't need that. We want to go into the boot menu and we're going to boot option. Now, I've already selected this, but normally it is set for the hard disk or the Intel SSD hard disk or whatever hard disk you have in there. Because I put the Kingston Data Traveler, that's the live boot disk that I have, we'll be able to do a temporary boot and then we can continue from there. We're going to go enter and then save and exit and save the configuration. And now this is what Ubuntu looks like when it's booting. It'll come in and start up fairly quickly, and then we'll have some options once that loads up. Depending on which processor you have, it might take a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to do try. We're not going to install it. We don't want to do that. Try, do not install it. Try will allow it to load to RAM quickly and get us on our way. So when that's loaded up, okay, we don't see anything here. If I try to load a file, other locations, there's SD, oh, so it has mounted dev SDA1 and dev SDA2. So let's, so the computer is this is the file system for the Linux. That's not what we're interested in. We want to go to other locations. If we go to system, we're getting things like system volume related to the booting, not so many user files. Where you probably want to go is under user data, system volume user files. So if you go in here, setups, color, S parameter waveforms, user data, system, user data. Let's go back. Program data. There may be data shoved in there as well. Agilent specific files. Yeah, you can go in and take a look at that stuff. So this is sort of how you go in and manipulate that data. There is a manual way of loading and mounting a drive if required. I don't think that's the case that we do have to do that. You do have to open the file folder though to get it get it on, and other locations. That's the two key things. File folder, other locations, computer's your main one, and then you'll see the two large drives. If you want to know what the drive structure looks like, you can go to disks. You'll see system partition 1, user data here, recovery partition, and then there's free space. That isn't mounted. Now we've got, yeah, these are mounted now automatically, so, and that is done when we open this folder. So that's the easy way to do it. When you're done, gracefully shut down, and then I'll show you how to put everything back to the normal state in the BIOS. That's it. Now, putting things back. So we just have to go back and change the boot sequence again. So we're going to do that next. Press delete on startup. There we go. Boot option 1. Well, I don't want to be booting off that anymore. That is my. So now it's the Intel SSD hard disk. Save and exit. Yes. And it's still. Let's do this. Do a full reboot. I may have to yank. Yeah. So now. Should go back to Windows at this point. Yeah, there you go. So now we're back into Windows. I can pull out that stick again.